What I can tell you is that this is the largest public fraud case in the history of the state of Mississippi.
Did you have any sense when you took the case of what you were wading into?
No, absolutely not.
What White learned, he says, was that here in the poorest state in America, money from the state welfare fund intended to help alleviate poverty was instead being rerouted by those in charge to their cronies and friends, nearly $100 million in all.
The folks who were making the spending decisions were acting as if there were no consequences here, that there were no real rules around this money. They thought of this fund as not only their own fund to do what they wanted with, but they thought of it as a slush fund that no one was watching at all.
And it seems no one was, until White began to look into a string of odd payments from a state welfare program called TANF, or Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. Among them, a payment of $5 million to a project being spearheaded by a man with a familiar name, Bret Favre. It was a project that didn't seem to be assisting needy families at all, a brand new volleyball arena at the Mississippi college where Favre's daughter played on the team.
It is clearly a volleyball court built at a time when Mr. Favre's daughter is there, and you can't spend money intended for the poor on something like that.
The payment to the arena project had been authorized by a power broker in the state capitol, a nonprofit executive named Nancy New, who had a contract with the state's welfare agency to distribute funds for poverty relief. In a text message, Favre thanked New profusely. "Very big deal, and can't thank you enough," he wrote. But soon he was asking New for even more money for the arena, $1 million more. This time he agreed to do something in return, give a few speeches to local residents. He never made the speeches, but he did get the money.
There's this weird transaction involving $1.1 million going to Mr. Favre. He's supposed to speak at 3 total speaking engagements, but he didn't show up to those events.
This is all it takes for $1 million to be shoveled out the agency.
Right.